My name is Rika. I'm working as RP evangelist at Step One Step Right. Today's topic for webinar is how to integrate Jira software with UiPath. So agenda for the day is, we'll see first what is Jira. Then we'll see how to integrate Jira software with UiPath. Then at the end, we'll see demonstration and queries. So first we'll see what is Jira. So Jira is a tool which is developed by an Atlassian Australian based company. So Jira has two components. One is Jira Core and Jira Software. So in Jira Core, there is no agile capabilities available. But in Jira Software, the Jira Core capabilities is also there. Along with that, we have agile capabilities also. As we all know, in testing, we are now using agile technologies, methodologies. So will be going for Jira software. So Jira software is a tool built in for agile teams to organize, track, and do software development. So Jira software is used, has the capabilities of Jira Core and agile capabilities. So you can overall tell the Jira is a complete package which the company wants it for managing the project. So usage of Jira. Jira is used in Scrum for issue tracking, project managing, tracking certain software, and also Jira provides cloud services. As you all know, we are now using cloud-based technologies only. Company people need not invest extra amount for taking the cloud service. Jira also already provides that within it. Next is features of Jira. The main features is that Jira provides detailed reporting, project roadmap, time tracking, and mobile application. Even Jira can be run in mobile application. So what is the advantages of Jira? So integration is provided by Jira, means that any third-party application can be easily integrated with Jira software. So Jira is suitable for different types of user, like it may be developer, QA, project manager, business analyst, anything. So Jira is suitable for all the types of user. It provides the roadmap requirement, which is easy, which makes us easy to go through the project. And Jira also enables us to create any kind of issue. Issues can be bugs, test case, task, user story, anything it can be. So Jira is allowing us to do any, you can create any type of issues using this Jira. So next we'll see how it works with UiPath. So as you can see here, UiPath is integrated with the Jira. By using the Jira activities, you can connect to Jira by using Jira API. So internally, how it will work. So for integrating UiPath Studio and Jira, we have to be providing the service URL, first thing. And second thing, we have to be mentioning what is the authentication tag. Once you are done with these two things, then we are in the position to integrate UiPath with Jira. So you can see here, Jira scope and Jira activities is used, and we are also using Jira API to provide the connections. So using Jira activities, we are providing the inputs to the Jira, and by performing the operation, Jira is giving us the output. So here we saw what is this authentication check. So next we'll see what is that in detail. So this is the configuration parameters. The current scope will provides two types of authentication. Means if you want to integrate Jira with any third-party application, we have two options. One is API token and one more is OAuth 2.0. So API token is application programming interface token, which is generated by Jira itself. So using that, we can easily integrate. And one more method is OAuth. OAuth is a full form of OAuth is open authorization. Here, Jira will not be providing, but the client ID and secret key are generated by Jira, and people within that organization can easily access. So what are the prerequisite for integrating Jira with UiPath? We have to have a Jira account, and we have to install this UiPath.jira.activities. So we'll go with the virtual demonstration. Next is the use case. So what will be the use case we'll be seeing? We'll be creating a issue, deleting the issue, get issue and update issue, get priority and update priority, assign issue, add and delete comments, and execute method. So these are the different activities we'll be seeing in our virtual demonstration. But when you see this, we can understand that we can use this both in RPA and RTA. In RPA, when you want to automate Jira ticket assignment, then you can use this Jira integration. And in robotic test automation, when you're performing any test automation and you want to log any defects or issues, then you can easily go with this Jira integration, which will be taking very less time to perform. And also it doesn't require the application in the foreground. It can also run in the background. So for this, we have to be installing Jira UiPath.jira.activities. I've already installed here. Once it is done, you can see over here the activities under Jira. Okay. Then next is we have to be creating, or we have to be integrating UiPath with Jira. So for that, what we have to use, we have to use the API key. So as I told, Jira scope is a where you'll be providing the integration. Means you are linking UiPath with Jira using this Jira scope. So this Jira scope is a parent or container, parent class, or it is a container where all the child activity should be inside that Jira scope. So here you can see in the properties section, there is a property authentication type. As I told, we have two type. One is API token and OAuth. So yeah, I'll be selecting API token and service URL. That is the Jira account URL here. And here we have token authentication username, which is the account you are using, the username, and API token. API token will come in the terms of alphabets like this. But API token, the API what we are using is a secure string. So we should be converting that API, whatever we have got from the Jira account, to secure password. Then only we can connect between UiPath and Jira. So here, this is the API token. I'm converting it to secure string. That is why I've taken a variable string API. So you can see in the API variable section, string API is of type secure string. Then from where we'll be getting the API. So here, this is my Jira account. I have to go to settings. In account settings, you have to go click on security. So you can see over here API. So if you want to create a one and manage, you have to click here create and manage API token. If you want to create new, you can click create API token. Otherwise, you already created one, you can make use of. So this is where we get the API token. So first use cases will create a issue. So issue is it may be anything, like it might be bug, it might be test case, user story, or task. So here I am creating a issue bug. So for creating the issue, we should be providing the following details. Project key. What is project key? So I'll show here. You can see in the project section, you have so many projects, and within the bracket, whatever is there is the project key. So it is telling the UiPath you have to be creating with that prefix on it. So here you will get, it is here. See, my project key is now step. So that is a project key, and I am telling which type of issue I have to create, whether it is bug or test case or task, whichever. Now I'll be creating a bug. And this is a summary. I'll be giving new bug summary webinar demo, and this is a description. When I run this, see, my application is not coming foreground. It is running in the background only. There earlier I had only two test cases. One is 13 and 14. Now after the execution, one more will be added. See, this is the newly test case created. So you can see this is a summary which it is given from there. New bug summary, webinar demo. This is a description given. Okay, this is to create the issue. So next is delete issue. I'll be using the same Jira scope container everywhere in my use case and just be telling about the activities I'm using. Next is to delete it. So as you know, I have to be mentioning which one to delete. So I can tell I have to be giving this or this key. So now I have a delete issue or activity. Here I'll be telling step 13. Make sure that that issue type is there, otherwise you'll be getting an error. So step 13 is there here. So I'll just tell issue key step 13, you delete it for me. So I'll run it. I'm getting this. So it is done. See, you can see the time taken for running this is just 2 seconds. Refresh the page. See, the 13 defect has been deleted. My next use case is to update the issue. In that year, you can update anything related to that issue, but I'll be updating the summary or description. So here I have taken first to update the issue, I have to be getting the issue. So I'm telling step 14 issue, you get it for me. And in that I am updating the summary. So this is just to display what is that issue summary. Then I'm updating it to the new one. This is updated summary. And I'm also changing that description as well. I'm telling this is updated description. So here in the Jira account, you can see here you can see new bug summary webinar demo and description is new description bug webinar. But now after updating, it will be changing to updated. This is updated summary and this is updated description. See, this is just to display after. That whatever was displayed was the older one. Now you can see the updated one here. Just a second.
It was step 14.
Step 14, yes, yes. That is right. Yeah, correct. See here, you can see here. This is updated summary and this is updated description. It was for step 14, I have this, correct. Next is to get the priority. So for step 14, you can see the priority is low here. Okay, that I'm just getting. So when I tell get issues, all the fields from that, so it might be summary, description, so many fields are there. All the fields will be extracted from the get issue. So I'm storing that issue in the all fields output, and I'm just displaying as I want only the priority. I'm just displaying all fields dot priority. If you want summary, all fields dot summary. Okay. So the priority was low. So we'll see how it is working. See, it is now telling the priority. And now if you want to change that to low, from low to high or medium, we have another activity called update. So I'm getting the issue of step 14 and I'm assigning that priority to high. So just run that. So now we can see here the priority is changed from low to high. The next use case is to assign the issue. As you can see now, step 14, there is no assignee here. Means this bug is not assigned to any user. So if I click on this here, you can see so many users here. Okay, so first I have to find the users and I'll be assigning to some other person. So we have the activity called find user. So I'll be using the get issue to get all the issues details. And I'm telling to find this particular user. I'm using Snehal Gavkar to find that. I want to assign to that person. So I'll be telling this thing. Then I'm assigning to that person. So when I run this, unassigned will be changed to Snehal now. See, it was unassigned. Now it is changed to Snehal Gawkar. So this is the assigning the user. Next is to add the comments. So as you can see here, I have already added 2 comments here. This is comment 2, this is comment 1. Now I want to add one more. So I'm just using add comment activity before that get issue, and we'll be telling this is comment from UiPath. Along with 2 comments here, the one more will be added. See, you can see within 5 seconds ago, this is comment from UiPath. Now we have 3 comments here. Now, if I want to delete all the comments from this comment section, I have one more activity called as delete comments. So as I want to delete all, then I will be using for each. So first get that comments. Using get comments activity, you have to tell what is the issue key. Step 14 is my issue key. For that, I have 3 comments. So I want to delete all that. So I'll be saving it into all comments. Then using for each, and I'll be deleting that comments. So when I run this, all the comments can be deleted. Even you can run it for single comment also. The topmost will be deleted if you don't use for each. See, you can see here there is no comments for the 3 comments are deleted here. Next, if you want to create bulk issues, like now I want to create 500 bucks in my Jira account, then how can I go for? You can use loops for that. It comes inside the Jira scope only. The count is how many you want to create. Okay, so count, I'm just adding 5 now. Then I'll be telling project using the create issue activity. I am telling project key, what is the type of that issue, and this is the summary and description. I have to be decrementing, so I've used assign activity here, and as I've used do while loop, at the end I have to be mentioning the condition. So once I run this, I'll be able to create 5 bugs. Even you can create 500 to 1000 bugs within minutes in this Jira. So here you can see so many are created. We had only 13, 14. See, now till 20 it is added. This is for creating bulk issues. Then whatever we performed till now, like getting the issue, assigning the comments, assigning the user, adding comments, delete, we have one more activity called as execute method. So when I use this execute method, click on configure. Here you can see there are so many built-in methods already available here. You have to just make use of that. So here I'm just using get issue, and I'm telling what is the key here. Key is step 20, I will tell. And responses I will be saving in a variable called res2. And I'm just displaying the summary of that step 20 thing. So step 20 is here. So it is new bug. I'll just change it here. Because this is what I have to display. So summary. So new bug, summary, webinar demo, exe method. So you can use built-in methods to do the same operation. Yes, any doubts?
Hello.
Hello. Yes, any doubts?
Hi, Rekha.
Yes.
Yes, I have only one question.
Yes.
Whenever we create any issue,
Hmm.
so in the reply, so issue key is replying means while we create an issue.
Yes, yes.
So is there any response for that?
Here you can do it. You can use if you want to display, you can see. Like you can tell you have to save it in a variable. that
Mhm.
dot priority, that dot summary, you can use to know that whether it is created. So you can use it.
Okay, okay. Like if we create new issue,
Yes.
then step 15, step 16, so
Yes, you
whatever
can get
in the
that. Get
Jira
issue
Cloud.
you can do. Get issue you can
Okay,
do. In that you have to be using that particular variable where you have stored the output of get issue. That the dot priority, summary, description, or
hmm.
issue key, like that. There is so many what to say, so many elements for that. You can use that. Let's see here. Just in this
Okay,
we have used here. So get issue is there. In that time saving the issue in the all fields. All the fields from that issue will be saved it in variable here that I'm using with dot priority to get that only
okay,
priority. So like that, if you want to check that, after creating issue, you add get issue, and along with that, you
okay,
can get that priority summary or all required things.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any doubts? Thank you, team.